What's up guys, it's Alex here, and I thought I'd bring you this race review of the Le Mans 24 Hours 2012. Now, it was a really exciting race, really enjoyable to watch, and I hope this race sort of puts it into light. I mean, on this race on GT5, I really wasn't doing very well, because I've been away from Gran Turismo 5 for a very long time, so this is my first race in about, I'd say like 2 months, so I'm very rusty. I go off a couple of times, but it's still exciting to watch, and this is still my favourite ever car to race Le Mans. It's the Mazda 787B, and it's just a really nice looking car, and it's just very iconic with the colours and everything. But yeah, let's get into the race review for 2012. Very exciting race, and let's get into it. So the first three rows of the starting grid were the number 1 Audi, and then the number 3 Audi, both on the front row for Audi Sport Team Joust. Then on the second row, it was the number 8 Toyota, and then it was the number 2 Audi Sport Team Joust. Then fifth, it was the Toyota Racing number 7, and then in sixth, it was the Audi Sport North America. Now, all these cars were separated by about 2 seconds or so, a bit less than 2 seconds, about 1.5, I'd say. And, you know, very close at the front, and it was nice to see Toyota up there in competitive and qualifying. I mean, we assumed in the race they probably wouldn't have the same sort of pace they would in qualifying. I mean, in qualifying, I think they were only about 7/10 off pole, which was really good for a first-coming team or a new team to the Le Mans 24 Hours. And you know, they were pushing it. They were really on the edge all the time. They were pushing very hard, and they got the position I think they wanted. They wanted to like interrupt the Audis, and that's what they did. Qualifying was a great result for Toyota. They did very well. So off the start line, the Toyotas didn't get a great start. I think the number 1 still led the race, then the number 3 Audi was in second, but the number 2 Audi jumped up from 4th to 3rd and took the position from Stefan Sarrazin, who I think started the car. And then AlexZAfRo got ahead of Stefan Sarrazin later on in the first lap, I think. So the number 7 car actually was getting past the number 8 car. And I think we all sort of assumed by the lineup of the number 7 car, the 7 car was going to be fast with Anthony Davidson and AlexZAfRo. You know, both really fast guys. And I think we sort of assumed they'd be faster than Stefan Sarrazin and Nakajima, and I can't remember who the other person was, but we kind of assumed they'd be faster than them because, you know, they had a lot more experience in Le Mans. But, you know, it was close. The Toyotas were still pushing, and Audi was still under threat, and it was all getting very close. And then one of the Audis hit the wall. It was the number 3 Audi that, whilst going through, I think it was the first chicane, it got held up behind a back marker. And you can see here I crashed in the game. It held up behind a back marker, and we just went, you know, into the barriers. I don't know whether he could avoid it. I think he locked up the brakes, is what a lot of people were saying. And then he couldn't turn in. He just went straight onto the wall. He broke one of the front suspension rods, I think, or something to do with the front end of the car on one side. He completely broke it. It put him about 6 or 7 laps down by the time he got back to the pits and repaired. But he still kept on in the race, and he still kept pushing. And over time, he actually caught one of the Rebellion cars. So, you know, the Audi team obviously had the pace. And, you know, not that far after that, there was 2 key moments in the race. The first was that the number 8 Toyota actually took the lead of the race. And he did that very well. I mean, Audi kept pushing him. I think it was the number 1 Audi. And, you know, they were swapping places every corner. It was amazing to see that. But over time, I think we saw that the Toyota got past, you know, I think it was a lap or so, and then there was a horrific crash for the number 7 car of Anthony Davidson. He hit one of the Ferraris that was, you know, really going quite slow at the time. The Ferrari turned into the corner, not seeing Anthony Davidson. Anthony Davidson was thrown up in the air, and if you haven't seen my video on this, I'm going to leave it linked down in the description, and he actually suffered a broken back, which was, you know, not very nice to hear. But, you know, he was in hospital, he was, you know, tweeting about it, so he seems to be okay now, and, you know, that's very thankful that he is, because we never like to see stuff like this happen in the Le Mans 24 Hours, but, you know, it's going to happen. You know, when you put cars which are like 30 seconds a lap faster than others, it's going to happen, and it's sad to see it happen to Anthony Davidson and the Toyota, because they were going well. They could have been on course for a podium. And then, just a little bit later, the new sort of Nissan car that was been put out, the Delta Wing, was hit by the other car whilst Nakajima was driving. Nakajima had to return to the pit, lost many laps. I think it was like 20 laps down, and he's still going, but, you know, he's got a severely damaged car, and it's put him, you know, out of the rankings completely for the win. So we got through the night without any cars really crashing out by the looks of it. I mean, the standings were pretty much similar to what they were the previous night, but there were a couple of problems in the morning. The Bleakermole and Rebellion car suffering problems and having to drop many laps behind, and it was on course for a 6th place finish, and the Rebellion cars at this time were in 5th and 6th. Then the car that was in 6th suffered problems, and that was sad to hear, because maybe at that time they might have got a podium, but at this current time, and the top 4 cars were all of the Audis. The order they were in was the number 2 car was leading, then from the number 1, number 4, then the number 3, and then the number 12 Heidfeld Rebellion car was in 5th position. So with 4 hours to go, it was looking likely that Audi were going to be taking the first 4 positions. And who would put it against them? They were pulling together a really, really great team. And only time would tell whether they would actually get the top 4 cars. I mean, it'd be a massive achievement for Audi if they did that. I don't think they've ever done that before. And they were all just waiting and seeing whether they could do it. Then a little bit later, with about 2 hours to go, 2 cars crashed. They were both Audis, the number 3 and the number 2. Number 3 losing many laps in the repair process, but the Alan McNish number 2 car still kept going, even though it had to have a little bit of a repair. So with 40 minutes to go, the order was number 1 Audi, number 2 Audi, number 3 Audi, and in 4th place it was the Lola Rebellion Racing with Neil Yarni, Nicholas Prost and Nick Heidfeld. So that's pretty much it for this year's Le Mans 24 Hours. The top 3 cars were the number 1 Audi Quattro e-tron, which was the number 1 car that won it, and in 2nd place was the number 2 R18 e-tron Quattro, and in 3rd place was the R18 Ultra. So it was nice to see Audi doing very well this year, and it was also a good run from the Rebellion Racing number 12 team. I mean, I think at the end they fell out, but it's a good run from them, and it's good to see them actually have good pace. And I enjoyed watching it this year. I hanged out in Valdude's stream for a little bit and talked with Mickey Motions as well as loads of Valdude subscribers. That was a great time. And yeah, I just hope you all enjoyed the video. It's been a lot of fun making. And we're going around the last couple of corners in my favourite ever Le Mans car. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. It's been Alex, and I am out of here. Bye.